Hello everybody, Incon here guys. Today we're going to be talking about a Smite mechanic that's built very much deeply into the game. You might know a lot about it, and that is going to be penetration. We're going to be talking about the different types of penetration in the game, what exactly it does, and what type of penetration you should be buying on the roles that you are playing, guys. I'm not going to go into the deep math. There's smarter people out there in the world like Dukesloth to handle that. I'm going to handle more of these actual in-game, like what you should be doing gameplay-wise, not exactly the exact numbers behind everything, but what you're looking to do as a player in order to get out the most damage in your role. So first up, let's talk about the most common type of penetration in Smite. That is going to be flat penetration. You will see that most penetration items in Smite have that. You will see plus 10 physical pen. We go over here, it says plus 10 physical pen. We look at Jotuns, it says plus 10 physical pen. We got Crusher plus 15 physical pen. Those are flat penetration values, which is going to take exactly that amount of armor away from your opponent. So if your opponent has 50 armor and you have 10 pen, then you're hitting them as if they had 40 armor. That simple, straight and easy, to the point. Armors correspond to mitigations, which means you are doing extra damage to them because you're not getting mitigated in your damage sources. Now, what should be noted, people forget, is that there is a flat pen cap. If you look over here at the penetration physical, it'll say 50. That means that you cannot have more than 50 physical pen. So if we grab Aussie for 10, Crusher 15, we grab boom, boom. Let's grab you. All right, we have got 15 penetration, 30 penetration, 40, 55, 65 penetration. But if we look at our board, we only have 50. That's because we are hard capped on our pen right there. We cannot have any more of it. We can use other sources of penetration, which we're about to talk about, but reminder that you cannot ever go over 50 pen. And for the most part, there's no reason you'll ever basically be at 50 flat pen. The next type of penetration is going to be percentage pen. That is going to be your Titan's Bane on physical characters, your Obsidian Shard on magical characters. This is going to give you percentage of total armor of the enemy opponent. So your physical damage ignores 15% of enemy god's physical protections. If a god has over 65 physical protections, this effect scales up to ignore a larger percentage of their protections. This caps at 40% physical penetration if your opponent has 200 or more physical protections. So let's think about that for a second. Let's think about the max value on Titan's Bane. Let's assume you're going against some sort of tanky character and they've got over 200 protections. Pretty easy to get over 200 protections on tanky characters. That means that you are going to be getting a value out of Titan's Bane of 80 pen, if assuming they have a flat 200, right? You're getting 40% from all of those protections, so you're taking away 80 of their protections, which is way more than flat pen would have ever given you because you capped out at 50 flat pen. So you want to get Titan's Bane against characters that have a ton of armor, specifically against teams that maybe have multiple characters with a ton of armor is also very good. Maybe their support is very tanky and their solo laner is very tanky. That way you're getting value from Titan's Bane on more than just one god that you're opposing. It should be noted, really quick, that percentage pen does not work on objectives like towers, but flat pen like Aussie does work on towers, okay? Executioner, another percentage item here on your penetration, 12% per stack, up to 3 stacks, so up to 36% penetration, regardless of how many protections your opponent has. Once again, Executioner will not reduce the armor of a tower, but if you have something like a Crusher, that 15 flat penetration will lower the tower's defenses by 15. Yes, all objectives in Smite have protections, and you do not get percentages on towers or phoenixes, but it should work on Gold Fury and Fire Giant with percentage pen. Complicated, I know, but there it is. Now for the last type of penetration in Smite, which is technically still flat pen, but I think it kind of categorizes all in itself, and that's going to be aura penetration. We have Void Shield for physical characters and Void Stone for magical characters. These are going to be lowering protections in an AoE around your character 55 units around you, physical protections are reduced by 20. This means it is the equivalent of 20 flat pen. The reason why I consider this a different source of pen is because if you have 50 flat pen from other items plus a void shield, that void shield is still working because it's not actually a part of your direct penetration on your character. It is just reducing the armor of everybody around you. So you could theoretically have 50 flat pen plus void shield to reduce 70 flat armor on the person that you're attacking. I almost always recommend right now having one void shield or a void stone on your team, depending on where the majority of your damage is coming from, just because reducing percentages, reducing armor like that around your characters is just so crazy strong to help out your carries in your game. So if you're a tankier character in Smite, make sure you're buying one of those if you can. So what type of penetration is right for you and your role? Well, right off the bat, Guardians support, you basically don't get penetration on support players. If you do, it's going to be something like a Void Shield, Void Stone, get a little AoE pen out, or something like a Stone of Binding, once again, something that gives AoE basically penetration for your team. If you're a hunter, you're basically looking at something like Executioner. Sometimes you get Titan's Bane as your main source of pen, but right now Executioner is way more popular on your hunters. On your mid laners, you've got Spear of the Magus and Obsidian Shard. Pretty much Obsidian Shard seems to be the way to go right now on most of the meta mages. But if you're on somebody like Ryzen, somebody that procs a lot of damage very fast, Spear of the Magus is going to give you a lot of flat pen. Once again, Spear of the Magus is something that doesn't overcap your penetration because it is reducing the opponent's protections, not actually giving your character more penetration. So you can have like 50 penetration on your character if you want to, plus get like the full effect from Spear of the Magus from like the 50 penetrations I believe you can get from it stacking. So like 100 flat pen potentially. So make sure you check out for that. In the jungle, you're going to get a lot of things like flat pen, Jotun's Wrath, Crusher, Brawlers, Void Shields. Typically in jungle, you're sticking with flat pen items. You don't usually ever get Titan's Bane or Executioner. And in the solo lane, for the most part, you're not getting that much pen again. Once again, back into a tanky role. You're going to get yourself something more along the line of like a Void Shield if you're going to get a pen, just like the supports are getting something just a little bit more helpful for your team and not necessarily just your own character. That's it, guys. That's penetration and Smite. That's probably not changing in Season 6. Probably, we might get some new pen items and stuff, but chances are we're still going to have good old flat pen, percentage pen, and aura penetration. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you learned something today. Please let me know down in the comments anything else you would like covered, anything you would like help with, guys. We're getting very close to Season 6 starting, meaning we're going to get to cover a bunch of awesome new stuff, help you guys out with the new season as it starts, help you tell what characters are good, what the meta is looking like, where to be at what times. I'm waiting to do all of those things till the new season comes out so that those videos aren't totally obsolete in the second, after I release them. But thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. And as always, have a twitching day, y'all. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, please go ahead and hit the like button. And if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell, guys, in order to get notifications for our uploads. If you want to go the extra mile to help support the Twitchiest community, you can always go to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Incon and use your Twitch Prime sub there. It's a great way to help support the community. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a twitching day, y'all.